It's Friday, February 20th.
Whether those details that were passed on by Andrew to Epstein were all part of his job and part of his responsibilities, well, that's an open question.
Andrew Mountbatten Windsor is no longer in police custody, but the search of his former home appears to be ramping up this morning.
Symptoms were obviously, the vomiting, diarrhea, severe cramping, severe stomach pain, nausea.
Vacation nightmare. Dozens of travelers from Canada reporting severe illness after visiting the same resort in Mexico earlier this month.
We're hoping by Monday that things should be operating as normal. Another thing I want to add is we have a contractor that cleans out the bus stops. We've been in contact with them, so they're also working to clear out the bus stops as we speak as well.
Prince Albert adjusting operations to manage the heavy snowfall this week, including cutting some transit routes. Stay with us, Saskatchewan. Your morning starts right now. To Your Morning Saskatchewan, I'm Daryl.
And I'm Janelle Lippi. Good morning and happy Friday.
I've been having a lot of fun watching the Olympics because my little guy's 4 and he's deep into watching the hockey.
Yeah.
And I'm watching him jump ship. I'm trying to teach him, like, you got to stick with your team, right?
Yes, yeah.
But yesterday we were watching and he's like, well, I'm all about Switzerland. And then Sweden scored. That's my team. Watching his little brain work. It's so much fun.
Big fan of the winner.
Got to stay inside. It's cold outside. Let's get to breaking news this morning, and we'll get back to weather in just a moment. Overnight, Andrew Mountbatten Windsor returning home after the arrest of suspicion of misconduct in public office. The former Prince Andrew has not formally been charged. Nicole D'Antonio with the latest.
This morning, this picture of former Prince Andrew leaving the police station is front page news worldwide after the unprecedented arrest of a British royal. Headlines reading, "Now he's sweating, we can see you sneaking out, and what did they know?" The arrest follows the emergence of documents from the U.S. Justice Department detailing communications between Andrew and the late convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein. Andrew was arrested at the king's private estate, but sources say the monarch was given no advance notice. The king not answering questions after Andrew's arrest.
Your Majesty, how are you feeling after your brother's arrest? Have you spoken to your brother, Your Majesty?
Instead, releasing a statement earlier saying what now follows is the full, fair, and proper process, pledging authorities will have his full and wholehearted support and cooperation. Although he was released while still under investigation, Andrew has not been charged and has previously denied any wrongdoing. He was already stripped of his titles because of his ties to Epstein. Survivors reacting to the news.
We were all of the survivors that I'm in touch with, so very happy to see that that had finally happened and that the UK was taking steps to actually investigate and hold perpetrators accountable.
Meanwhile, according to court documents filed on Thursday, the co-executors of Jeffrey Epstein's estate have agreed to settle a class action lawsuit filed against them by survivors of Epstein's abuse for at least $25 million. The proposed settlement, which a federal judge will have to approve, does not include an admission of wrongdoing.
Now, if convicted, misconduct in public office carries a maximum sentence of life imprisonment. Nicole D'Antonio, ABC News, Washington.
There are new concerns this morning in Ottawa that the Canada-U.S.-Mexico trade agreement could be in trouble, but the Finance Minister, François-Philippe Champagne, is not giving up hope.
We'll continue to make the point and keep telling them that we're ready at the table whenever the parties want to review CUSMA.
New York Times is reporting 2 Canadian officials involved in trade discussions with the U.S. say expectations of a full renewal of the deal later this year are low. U.S. President Donald Trump has said Canada is ripping off his country and has reportedly said he could walk away from the deal. This comes as Canada-U.S. Trade Minister Dominic LeBlanc wraps up a trade mission to Mexico, saying there's no division between our two countries. CUSMA is meant to be reviewed this July. The federal NDP held their second and final leadership debate last night, and Canada's relationship with the U.S. was on the table.
Trump called, he'd get my answering machine. I'd be busy.
Any trade relationship he makes going forward, he is just as likely to break. He is completely unreliable.
We have to be smart and take them on and take them seriously, but we can't participate in fantasies like the so-called Golden Dome and other Trumpian dystopias.
We need quick fixes today.
Sure, they're compatible. They're compatible.
And a public grocery option isn't a quick fix.
I think we need to think about an even more radical approach to say, what is trade for, and do we need it?
The 5 candidates vying to become the party's new leader were challenged on their ideas of rebuilding the party and how they would handle U.S. President Donald Trump. Voting begins March 9th, and the winner will be named on March 29th. A teenage boy has been charged with second-degree murder after the death on a Star Blanket Cree Nation. Early Wednesday morning, the File Hills Police Service responded to a report of a homicide at a resident on Star Blanket. A male teen was arrested at the scene. Saskatchewan RCMP have taken over this investigation, as File Hills First Nations Police do not have a major crimes unit. Because of the accused and victim knew each other, the victim will not be identified. The youth appeared in court on Thursday. A Saskatchewan woman who had her privacy breached by a Regina police officer says not enough is being done to prevent similar breaches from happening in the future. The woman, who CTV News has agreed not to identify due to privacy concerns, was one of 6 people who had their personal information accessed by Regina Police Service Constable Clinton Duquette over a 3-year period. The woman was in a relationship with Duquette and working at RPS for much of that time, and told CTV News that among the others who had their privacy breached were her sibling and a former partner. Duquette was the subject of a report from Saskatchewan's Information and Privacy Commissioner released in December. Regina Police said earlier this month they have already adopted or are in the process of adopting 8 of the 9 recommendations made by the Privacy Commissioner, but Duquette's access to police database would not be revoked.
I respectfully disagree with this recommendation on the basis that permanent revocation of access to eyes would effectively prevent an employee from performing their core duties, and that would amount to dismissal. The decision on discipline on that case has already been made and cannot be revisited.
Chief Lorelei Davies speaking after former Sergeant Robert Semenchuk was sentenced on charges stemming from a separate breach. Regina Police declined an interview with CTV News on Duquette's case, commenting only on the Privacy Commissioner's report following Semenchuk's sentencing. There's more details on our website, ctvnewsregina.ca. Just months after opening a warm-up shelter, the city of Saskatoon is looking at moving. We switch things over to Jeremy Dodge with why.
Daryl, the city's considering buying this property, we'll show you now, on Idlewild Drive to be a year-round drop-in center for homeless people. And this is just roughly 2 months after opening the current drop-in shelter on Avenue C. City says it'll cost more than $1.6 million to buy the building, with the goal of opening in November. Concerns were raised at City Council last fall when the city agreed to buy the building on Avenue C and open a drop-in center as cold temperatures arrived. But councillors and community members opposed the center being next door to the Salvation Army's existing shelter, prompting councillors to task administration to keep searching for a more permanent spot to decentralize social services.
I think it's challenging, and I think everyone would recognize it's challenging from the community service providers that we have, the individuals that are experiencing homelessness, not having any stability in where they can access services. I can imagine that's incredibly challenging as well.
Council set to meet next week to discuss this purchase. Well, following this week's snow, a reminder to drivers to clear your vehicle before hitting the road.
In Saskatchewan, we do tend to see a lot of snow. Some big snowstorms come through, so it is very important for motorists to remove snow and ice from their vehicles. And if they don't, they can face a fine.
Drivers must have a clear front, side, and rear view, and failing to properly clear snow or ice, it can result in a $125 fine under the Traffic Safety Act. The Saskatoon Police Service says visibility is only as good as your worst window. Now, as for sidewalks, property owners in Saskatoon required to clear the walkway surrounding their home within 48 hours of snow falling. The city does investigate complaints, and repeat violations could result in tickets or costs added to your property tax bill. Meanwhile, sticking with the snowfall, Daryl, the city of Prince Albert has adjusted operations to manage this heavy snowfall, and that includes cutting some transit routes.
Yeah, yesterday they announced they're shutting down some bus operations. The West Hill, East Flat, all day and rush hour routes operated with reduced stops Thursday, but other routes are not in operation. City says that's in order to keep up with the heavy snowfall. The roadways crews need to get out there and get their work done. Transit routes all cleared once the emergency routes are operational.
We're hoping by Monday that things should be operating as normal. Another thing I want to add is we have a contractor that cleans out the bus stops. We've been in contact with them, so they're also working to clear out the bus stops as we speak as well.
Transit routes are cleared once all emergency routes are operational. Dozens of Canadians returning home from the same hotel in Mexico are complaining about their travel nightmare.
We just dropped like flies. We were going down 4, 5, 6 of us at a time.
Kelly Bennett from Hamilton, Ontario is on a family vacation at the Royalton Splash Riviera in Cancun with her extended family earlier this month. Most of the group soon fell ill with vomiting, diarrhea, and more. Her family's diagnosis upon returning home was norovirus and what her doctor describes as likely foodborne parasites. Another vacationer from Vancouver has been in hospital since getting home, with doctors there saying it's E. coli. The hotel they were staying at hasn't responded to questions from CTV News. However, Bennett says near the end of their trip, staff began wearing masks and giving out sanitizer to guests at mealtime. New overnight, we could soon know a lot more about aliens. ABC's Sophie Flay with why.
A major development in the search for answers on whether we're alone in the universe. President Trump overnight said he will now direct the Pentagon and other relevant agencies to begin releasing documents related to alien and extraterrestrial life. It follows this stunning admission recently from former President Obama when he was asked about the existence of aliens.
They're real, but I haven't seen them, and they're not being kept in, what is it? Area 51. Area 51. There's no underground facility, unless there's this enormous conspiracy, and they hid it from the President of the United States.
Obama later walked back on those comments, saying the universe is so vast that the odds are good there's life out there, but saying, I saw no evidence during my presidency that extraterrestrials have made contact with us. Really? Still, President Trump accuses Obama of crossing a line with his comments.
He gave classified information. He's not supposed to be doing that. He made a big mistake. I may get him out of trouble by declassifying.
Congress has already held hearings on videos like these, showing a U.S. drone tracking a glowing orb off Yemen in 2024. The drone fired a missile, but it appeared to simply bounce off the object. The former head of the Pentagon program investigating these objects testified nothing should be ruled out.
So aliens are real? Well, I don't know if they're real or not.
Sophie Flay, ABC News, New York.
The Canadian and U.S. women delivered another classic matchup with the Americans taking home Olympic women's hockey gold. The Canadian women were holding a 1-0 lead late in the third with less than 2 minutes to go, and it fell apart on a heartbreak for Canadians.
These women are great athletes. They train hard, they prepare hard, they love the game, they have a passion for it.
Gretzky was speaking in Milan. He says the team has a lot to be proud of and that rivalries will help propel the game.
I really thought that they were going to pull this one out. You love to see an underdog victory, and it sucks. And it especially sucks losing to the U.S.
Hope still alive for Canadian hockey gold. The men take on Finland today in their semifinal matchup. We'll also keep an eye on the last day of short track speed skating. Courtney Sereau and Stephen Dubois have a chance to tie Canadian Olympic medal records. Let's get over to the Weather Center. Okay, let's do the medals count. How about that? 16 gold for Norway, 34 total. They lead the pack. Canada now has 4 gold, 5 silver, 6 bronze for 15 total. Now let's get over to the Weather Center. Janelle Lippai, what's in store for us for this weekend despite this bitter cold we've got going on right now?
Well, that cold is sticking around just a little bit longer. We do have a beautiful week ahead of us next week, so that is a positive to look forward to. But for today and into the weekend, we are still seeing those cold temperatures. Let's take a look at our current right now in Regina, minus 27. We are expecting a sunny day. However, once again, that temperature is not going to be improving here today. Over to Saskatoon, minus 28, a little bit of cloud cover in the sky, but that sun is out. For a future cast, you can see here, no more snow on the way for the next few days, at least. Some cloud cover in the sky. Those temperatures will begin to improve next week. For our currents here in the province, Buffalo Narrows at minus 33, Stony Rapids minus 36, Nipawin minus 25, Spiritwood minus 35, Hudson Bay minus 24, East End minus 22, Swift Current at minus 25, Yorkton minus 26, Wynyard minus 24. Now here's our highs for today. Still a colder day. The Battleford seeing minus 20, Prince Albert minus 18, Yorkton some cloud cover in the sky and sitting at about minus 19. We've got Moose Jaw minus 16 and both Weyburn and Estevan looking quite cloudy as well. Weyburn minus 17 and Estevan minus 18. Now for a 7-day forecast, you can see those temperatures leveling out a little bit. So today in Regina, we'll be reaching about minus 18 for that high. But that sun is sticking around throughout the weekend. Minus 19 on Saturday, minus 17 on Sunday. Monday is the day we're looking forward to, minus 6, and that sunshine is around. Now Tuesday, minus 9, still seeing some cloud cover in the sky, and Wednesday, minus 5. Over to Saskatoon now today, minus 21 for that high, seeing that sunshine. And it is sticking around for Saturday as well, minus 19. Sunday reaching about minus 18. And on Monday, some scattered flurries are still expected for the Saskatoon area. Minus 12 for that high. And on Tuesday, a little bit more sunshine with minus 11, reaching that low of about minus 20 overnight. So again, those daytime temperatures will be improving. However, overnight, we will be reaching quite cold temperatures once again. So if you are out, once that sun does set, make sure you're bundling up, putting on that mitts, those scarves, that jacket, because things are going to still remain quite cool. This morning, we're hearing about some real-life sweater snuggles.
Wiener dog. And the first sign of cold weather.
It may be National Love Your Pet Day.
They are very, very determined.
But Bonnie here is going to need her own holiday for how much she loves Brian.
She's being possessive with me right now. She's like, hey, don't look at the camera, look at me.
Over the past year, millions on social media have fallen in love with Bonnie's drive time ritual.
Oh, no, she did a barrel roll. Look at that.
As this 2-year-old dachshund does whatever it takes to get inside Dad's sweater.
So she will nap inside of your shirt?
Absolutely. She'll climb in there to take a nap.
For the record, Brian has many dogs, horses, and cows on his 70-acre farm in Idaho.
You can do it all.
But he says Bonnie has always had a unique devotion to the religion of burrowing.
She's kind of a little bit of a prima donna. I've got 4 daughters, and Bonnie acts like a teenage girl.
In fact, Brian says he's only ever had one other dog this passionate about breaching his shirt collar, and guess who it was?
What do you think, Agnes, huh?
Bonnie's mother, Agnes, who sadly passed away in the past year.
So does it feel like she's kind of carrying Agnes's spirit by being protective of you?
Yeah, she is very much her mom's dog.
However, if you scroll through Brian's comments section on TikTok, it seems a lot of pets are honoring Agnes in their own clingy/lovey way.
Bonnie, you with us?
Hey, wake up, girl. Love you too. Love you too.
For the record, Brian believes this behavior has a lot to do with finding warmth when it's cold out, but apparently Bonnie will immediately pull out of his sweater whenever he pulls up to a drive-thru, naturally. In New York, for ABC News, I'm Danny New.
Danny would just have Bluey stuffed in no context.
I love it.
There it is. So obviously it's National Love Your Pet Day. So we have requested your pictures. We want to see your furry friend. Flood our inbox. That's Your Morning Saskatchewan at ctv.ca. Scan the QR code. It'll do the work for you. Or you can text that number on your screen. We're back with health news on the other side of this break as we take a look over the city of Regina, which is very frosty this morning. We'll see you later.
Oof. Health news this morning. New data shows pneumonia sent more Canadians to hospital last year. The Canadian Institute for Health Information says hospitalizations went up by almost 1/3 last year. It's across the country. Children 5 to 17 were hit especially hard. Hospitalizations in that age group more than doubled from the previous year. And doctors say a bad flu season last year likely drove that surge.
Health Report, brought to you in part by SEIU West, Saskatchewan's first healthcare union.
Here's a look at today's gas prices. In Regina, the common cost to fill up is $127.9. You can find regular fuel for as low as $104.9. And in Saskatoon, the common cost is $126.9, and the lowest you might find is $114.9. Taking a look at farm markets, the street price of canola is $624.83 per ton, and the futures price is $672.50 per ton. Amber durum wheat is $278.59 per ton, and red spring wheat is $263.67 per ton. And the Canadian dollar begins the day trading at 73.01 cents U.S.
Welcome back to Your Morning. It is 6:30. The provincial government has now settled a major lawsuit launched by Surecom Industries over the loss of a tire recycling contract. But the NDP opposition says there are other problems ahead. With the very latest, here's Wayne Mantica.
Saskatchewan's scrap tire recycling program has been plagued with problems in recent years after Saskatoon's Surecom Industries lost the recycling contract. It was awarded to recyclers from the U.S. and Eastern Canada. Now the NDP say scrap tires are piling up near Clavette.
So high that we can once again see them from space.
Earlier this week, the province agreed to pay $4.8 million to settle a lawsuit with Surecom Industries after the former recycler launched a lawsuit alleging unfair exclusion from contract bidding. In a written statement, the province said it was not admitting liability, but the province believes that resolving this matter at this stage provides greater certainty and stability for the scrap tire recycling industry and benefits Saskatchewan residents. Surecom says it's relieved matters have come to an end and that it is prepared to move forward. The company now focuses on manufacturing.
We make a multitude of products, from parking curbs to curb ramps, rubber paving, and currently we are employing just shy of 100 people.
The NDP says the government is to blame for what happened to Surecom's recycling division.
It's another example of the Sask Party killing jobs. They've basically paid $5 million to kill 100 Saskatchewan jobs at a local company out of Saskatoon, and tire recycling for the province is still a mess.
Surecom couldn't comment yet on how the company might grow its operations in Saskatchewan. It's an industry that relies on several factors, including an adequate supply of raw materials. Wayne Mantica, CTV News, Regina.
Hours are being reduced this weekend at Regina's Urgent Care Centre. The centre will close 5.5 hours earlier than it normally does. Operating hours today, Saturday and Sunday, meaning it's going to be open from 4 p.m. After 4 p.m., it will not be open. 8 to 4 every day throughout the course of the weekend. The Saskatchewan Health Authority says the adjustments are to accommodate doctor availability and staffing holidays. The normal hours are 8 to 9:30 p.m. Again, 8 to 4 right now. Prince Albert police have arrested one man and seized a significant amount of drugs following an investigation that began last month. Cocaine, methamphetamine, and MDMA, as well as more than $12,000 in cash and other drug trafficking equipment was taken as evidence following the search of a basement suite on 7th Street East. 33-year-old Laban Elmi has been charged with multiple drug and drug trafficking offenses, making his first court appearance Tuesday. A major lawsuit has been filed in Quebec that could have implications right across the country.
Those people are living there way before the crown arrives, way before our government decides to do this or to do that. And so we're claiming that ancestral right, which is also an ancestral title.
First Nations chiefs filed the lawsuit claiming Aboriginal title over 3 large tracts of land north of Montreal, hoping to protect it from loggers. Hereditary Chief Dave Petitquay says the group of hereditary chiefs want the power to decide who can log on their lands and receive compensation. It comes after months of First Nations land defenders disrupting the logging industry on their traditional lands. If successful, the suit would have repercussions for hereditary chiefs across the country and could impact future major infrastructure projects. The chiefs say they are willing to go to the Supreme Court of Canada if necessary. Ottawa is urging First Nations people to carry a passport in addition to status cards when crossing the border in a new travel advisory for the U.S. Before this week, the government website said First Nations people could freely enter the United States for purposes of employment, study, retirement, investing, or immigration. But as of yesterday, it has been updated with new guidelines saying First Nations people may be able to cross the Canada-U.S. border by land or water with their secure certificate of Indian status, also known as the Secure Status Card. The website says acceptance of all status cards is entirely at the discretion of U.S. officials. Status cards and Secure Status Cards are not accepted travel documents for air travel, is what it says now. An elaborate takedown was caught on camera. Undercover Thai police disguised as a dance crew in costume at Lunar New Year celebrations, arresting a suspected thief. Take a look. Those officers emerging from a traditional lion costume, pinning the suspect on the ground and making the arrest. The alleged thief is accused of stealing nearly $90,000 worth of Buddhist artifacts in a home burglary. With a few leads, police devised a plan to don the costumes and capture the suspect at the celebration. A brief and spectacular volcanic eruption in the Philippines Thursday. This time-lapse video you're about to see shows a huge plume of ash rising 2,000 meters into the air. The eruption only lasted about 2 minutes and the alert level is still moderate, meaning locals are asked to stay about 4 kilometers away from the danger zone. Mount Canelon is one of the more active volcanoes in the country, which experiences frequent seismic activity. Toronto Blue Jays fans aren't the only ones happy to see the start of spring training.
What do the Jays mean to Dunedin?
A lot. You're the best.
We love the Jays. This is Blue Jay country down here.
Dunedin, Florida has been the Jays' spring training home for 50 years. The mayor says the team adds an estimated $200 million to the area economy. A report shows Florida saw a 15% drop in visit from Canadians through the first 3 quarters of 2025, coming off the World Series appearance. Jays ticket sales are up during spring training, but Dunedin's mayor says he has noticed Canadian visitors are not staying as long as they used to. Might want to fly south today. It's bitter cold in Saskatchewan. Holy.
It's cold, and that cold is going to remain up until next week, but there is a light at the end of the tunnel. Some more decent temperatures, more desirable temperatures are coming up starting Monday. Let's take a look now at our morning view, which is brought to you by Affinity Wealth Management. We know investing. Minus 27 currently here in Regina. We haven't seen that sunrise yet, but once it does, we'll be seeing quite a bit of sunshine. So something to look forward to amongst all of this cold weather. Over to Saskatoon now, minus minus 28. They're going to see a little bit more cloud cover in the sky for today. But again, sunshine is absolutely in the forecast. For our futurecast here, you can see that cloud cover rolling through the province. This is today into tomorrow as well. No snow systems coming through, so a little bit of relief from that, but those temperatures still remain quite bitter. For our currents here in the province, Spiritwood is at minus 35, Nipawin minus 25, South End minus 29, Stony Rapids at minus 36, Kindersley minus 28, East End minus 22, Wynyard minus 24, Yorkton minus 26, and Estevan minus 25. For our highs today, the Battlefords will be seeing about minus 20, Prince Albert minus 18, Yorkton minus 19, Estevan minus 18, Swift Current minus 13. For our 5-day forecast here in Regina, minus 18 is our high for today. Again, cold temperatures throughout the day, getting even colder in the nights. We will be reaching about minus 29 here tonight for our low. Over the weekend, though, still seeing some sunshine, but those temperatures are bitter. Minus 19 on Saturday, reaching minus 29 again Saturday night for the low, and on Sunday, minus 17. Over to Saskatoon now, minus 21 as the high for today, minus 28 for the low tonight. Tomorrow, seeing the sunshine remain, minus 19 and minus 30 as that low. On Sunday, minus 18, a little bit more cloud cover in the sky, which will lead us into Monday, and some scattered flurries, minus 12 for that high. Again, starting to see those temperatures level out. However, some snow is going to definitely cool things down again. And on Tuesday, some sunshine and minus 11.
Small business owners are experiencing a resurgence in uncertainty, and just how bad it is getting is detailed in a new report. I'm joined now by Ashley Mohammed. Good morning.
Good morning, Jeremy. How are you?
I am okay, and I thank you for joining us this morning. Who is not okay are a lot of small businesses right across the country, and I guess it's not really a big surprise that it's tough going out there for business right now financially, but this report talks more about the emotional burden and emotional tax. Can you explain that in these findings?
Yeah, absolutely. So the report that we curated, what we're finding is that, exactly to your earlier sentiment, is that small business owners aren't just stressed financially about their businesses, but what we're finding is that there's more of an emotional burden or tax that's being placed on these small business owners, where in the sense that they can't shut it off or they can't switch it off. And what that means is that it translates into loss of sleep, personal sacrifices, negative impacts on their relationships, and sometimes even their home and marital relationships as well.
Yeah. So, yeah, like you said, lost sleep, personal sacrifice, lost business opportunities, problems at home, extreme stress, basically, right? And I also see there are some numbers on how this could affect the overall business climate in the country. A lot of these businesses might not make it through.
Absolutely. There are some environmental factors that we're dealing with, right? And a lot of that some of those conduits are some of the uncertainty with our cross-border situation right now from a geopolitical situation. The tariffs have also driven some uncertainty for these small business owners. Rising costs, unpredictable demand, supply chain issues, interest rates. But generally what we're seeing in the data is that 90% of small businesses owners across Canada are very concerned about the upcoming fiscal years. So that's really driving a lot of an imbalance with their mental health, their physical health. And what's happening is that it's marginalizing the business's ability to drive to its peak performance. So ultimately, not only is the business suffering, but the small business emotional perspective also is carrying a burden on that.
Yeah, successful work-life balance is like the holy grail these days for anyone, and business owners especially. So do you have any advice? How can they maybe turn the tide a little bit and get through this, manage the foreseeable future?
Absolutely, Jeremy. So what we're seeing is with financial management, over 3/4 of small businesses are finding it very stressful from a financial management perspective. So that our data is showing that 77% of these small business owners are stressed from a financial perspective. What that means is as we're entering into tax season, it becomes a lot more complex, right? With filing your taxes and going through all those workflows and motions. What's really interesting that couples that stat is that 10% of Canadian small businesses are using an accountant or an advisor or even a software like Xero's today, which means 90% of small business owners are actually not using some of these resources and tools that can, quite frankly, mitigate some of these challenges emotionally that is happening for a small business owner. In absence of not using some of these tools that are there at their fingertips, we see that in the stats, small business owners will procrastinate, they'll delay their filings, which can cause costly mistakes to a business or overall just have long-term suffering consequences to a business as well. So my advice and some of the advice that we're seeing come through the insights is work with an advisor, work with an accountant. They're there to take this burden off of you. Work with companies like Xero, that is the software cloud accounting technology that will alleviate some of these challenges. And most importantly, take care of your mental health. Take care of your physical health.
All right, Ashley, thanks a lot for your time this morning.
Thank you.
Let's go on location with Janelle Lippi teeing up the final weekend of Frost Festival.
Good morning. We have made it down to the Real District for weekend 3 of Frost. I am at the Sports Cage Lounge and Kyle is joining me. Kyle, tell me a little bit about what's behind us here.
Well, right here we're at the Joshua Tree Learning Center. It's a quiet zone that we've prepared with the Joshua Tree. This is a great spot for families to get some respite, as there's a lot of excitement and a lot of stimulation here at Real, from the blizzard bounce on the field at Mosaic Stadium to the mechanical snowboard. This is a great juxtaposition for you to get some quiet time if you need it in between all that excitement.
Absolutely, very needed. This is a fantastic location. Should we go in and check things out?
Let's go check it out.
All right, we'll follow in camera operator Ashley's lead and come on in. So this is a wonderful big space for people to just come and relax. What do you guys offer here?
Well, you bet. It's a great spot to get some respite. As you can see, what is on the camera, what was just on the camera, is a great napping spot. What we have here is some interactive elements. If you just want to get your hands into something and get some, get yourself rezoned and kind of zen out through some activities like sand play. We also have more imaginative, cognitive respite through those activities. We've also got spaces if you just want to have some privacy in a little fort here as a family or as an individual. But there really is something for everyone who just needs a break from all the excitement that's going on here at Real.
Absolutely. Well, there is tons of excitement here down at the Sports Cage Lounge. There is this rest zone, of course, the great food, the curling, and outside in the stadium as well. So tons of awesome activities to come check out. Once again, weekend 3. Come down. You won't want to miss out on it.
The U.S. International Trade Commission has launched an investigation into rules of origin regulations for automobiles under the Canada-U.S.-Mexico Agreement on Trade. A news release on the Commission's website says the investigation will analyze the regulations' impact on the U.S. economy, effect on U.S. competitiveness, and relevancy considering recent technology changes. Aritzia says it has purchased U.S. fashion brand Fred Segal. Vancouver-based Aritzia would not share the value or terms of its deal, but says it includes Fred Segal's intellectual property. In tandem with the deal, Aritzia will also be leasing Fred Segal's iconic Melrose Avenue property in Los Angeles. Fred Segal's known for selling trendy clothes that garnered celebrity customers and made the brand a cultural touchstone in Hollywood and beyond. Those are your morning business headlines. For B&M Bloomberg, I'm Roger Peterson.
It's February 20th, and we have these milestones to share with you. Happy 10th birthday to Ellie. Your grandma and grandpa are sending you all their love. Aubrey is turning 9 today. Happy birthday to you with love from Papa and Granny. And it's Rooney's 6th birthday. Your family hopes you have an extra special day.
Milestones, brought to you by Harbor Landing Village, an award-winning senior care and living community in Regina.
If you have a milestone coming up, you can scan that QR code on your screen or send us an email at yourmorningsaskatchewan@ctv.ca. Make sure to send them at least one day in advance.
If D-Day is cancelled, we will lose this war.
The final decision on the timing of D-Day will be mine, and mine alone.
The biggest seaborne invasion in history hinges on a weather report in the official trailer for Pressure. Oscar winner Brendan Fraser plays General Dwight D. Eisenhower in the war drama alongside Andrew Scott, Carrie Condon, and Damian Lewis. Pressure lands in theaters May 29th.
I think it's really just exciting.
Phoebe Dynevor is ready to hit the beach. The Bridgerton and Fair Play star is set for a lead role in Beach Read. She'll play a romance novelist who's dealing with writer's block and grief in the adaptation of the best-selling novel by Emily Henry.
When I grow up, I want to be Noah Wiley.
Oh, wow, you got me choked up there, buddy.
An ER reunion is just one highlight of this year's Movies for Grown-Ups Awards with AARP. The event honoring 2025's finest film and TV achievements by 50-plus talents, including this year's Career Achievement honoree, Adam Sandler, premieres Sunday on PBS stations, pbs.org, and the PBS app. In Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
Hey, big plans for the weekend? It's going to be cold.
Yeah, watch some Olympic hockey for the men there and bundle up. That's going to be it here. This morning, though, big plans. Daryl, I know we've been saying this like every morning that we're going to crack the co-op number. Like today is going to be the day. And then every day we have our hopes just dashed out and we add more money to the pot. But today it is going to be the day. We can guarantee that. We're going to play for $1,450 to spend at co-op. Coming here at 7 o'clock. I'll give you the keyword to text in. You do that, and you get to guess the final digit. There's only 4 numbers that haven't been guessed for the final digit, so right off the start, odds pretty good. Now, how we're guaranteeing this, if it does not go with our first guess, we'll add another $50 to the pot, put it at $1,500, and then I'm just going to keep on calling people back on the text line over and over again until we finish it, until it's done. So we are wrapping that up. Get ready with the iHeartRadio app. Listen up here at 7 o'clock, and you can have that $1,450 to spend at co-op.
JD, what do you got for us in Sidebar today?
Well, apparently younger people collect a lot of cozy blankets, and one person tried to figure out why.
But it's over now. The pain is gone. I'm putting on my shades to cover up my eyes. I'm jumping in my ride. I'm heading out tonight.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
So apparently we went to a sleepover in the 90s, and sometimes our forgetful friends wouldn't offer us a blanket, so we had to use the most random stuff to cover up there. So piling various items on their body as a blanket.
Why not?
Couch cushion, or, maybe wake someone up and ask for a blanket or something.
No, I have like vivid memories of this happening every once in a while.
That was last week, and it's your house. So
You
get up
under
off the
carpet.
couch. All right, time out. It's Friday, February 20th.
Whether those details that were passed on by Andrew to Epstein were all part of his job and part of his responsibilities, well, that's an open question.
Former Prince Andrew no longer in police custody, but the search of his home appears to be ramping up.
I want you to know how confident I am in the judgment of Albertans on these and other delicate issues.
Alberta Premier Daniel Smith delivers an address last night promising a referendum on the status of immigrants and their access to social services in the province. Heartbreak in Milan and across the country it was felt. Our Canadian women came so close. Stay with us, Saskatchewan. Your morning starts right now. Welcome to Your Morning Saskatchewan. I'm Daryl.
And I'm Janelle. Thank you for being back with us.
Have you been paying attention to the Olympics?
A little bit here and there.
I know you're deep into the doubles luge. It's fascinating. Like how this becomes a sport is absolutely beyond me.
It is a mystery, but
monobob. I'm deep into monobob. I didn't know that was a thing. Apparently, it was in Beijing. A single rider.
A single rider.
Single rider on the bobsled track.
Oh, that sounds difficult.
You can still pay money at COP in the summertime in Calgary to go down the track. The bobsled has wheels on it.
No way.
Yeah, $75 will take you down there 100 kilometers an hour.
I'm going to need to take some time off this summer and give that a try.
I want video of that. Let's get to news. This morning, we are following the search of the home of the former Prince Andrew, hours after his release from custody.
It truly is a seismic moment for this country, and I think for the monarchy as well.
He's still eighth in line to the throne.
The former prince and king's brother can be seen in these videos and photos leaving the police station. He was held for 11 hours after being arrested on suspicion of misconduct in public office. Police say they're looking into allegations raised in the Epstein files that Andrew passed on documents to Epstein during his time as a trade envoy. Andrew has always denied any wrongdoing and he has not been charged with anything. He was released under investigation. A number of unmarked vehicles have been arriving at his Royal Lodge this morning as the investigation continues. There are new concerns in Ottawa this morning that the Canada-US-Mexico trade agreement could be in trouble.
We'll continue to make the point and keep telling them that we're ready at the table whenever the parties want to review CUSMA.
The New York Times is reporting 2 Canadian officials involved in trade discussions with the U.S. say expectations of a full renewal later this year are low. The U.S. president has said Canada is ripping off his country and reportedly could walk away from the deal. This comes as Canada-U.S. Trade Minister Dominic LeBlanc wraps up a trade mission to Mexico, saying there's no division between our two countries. The review is supposed to take place in July. The federal NDP held their second and final leadership debate last night, and Canada's relationship with the U.S. was on the table.
Yeah, so if Trump called, he'd get my answering machine. I'd be busy. Any trade relationship he makes going forward, he is just as likely to break. He is completely unreliable.
We have to be smart and take them on and take them seriously, but we can't participate in fantasies like the so-called Golden Dome and other Trumpian dystopias.
We need quick fixes today.
Sure, they're compatible. They're compatible.
And a public grocery option isn't a quick fix.
I think we need to think about an even more radical approach to say what is trade for and do we need it?
5 candidates vying to become the party's new leader were challenged on their ideas on rebuilding the party and how they would handle U.S. President Donald Trump. Voting begins March 9th. The winner will be named on March 29th. Alberta's premier says their government is putting 9 questions to a province-wide referendum in October, including whether to restrict social services from some immigrants.
How confident I am in the judgment of Albertans on these and other delicate issues. Although there are some politicians and commentators that fear direct democracy, such as referendums, I do not. I trust the judgment of Albertans.
Another asks for approval to cut off newcomers from social services if they don't fall under the Alberta-approved immigration status. The question doesn't define what that status means. One question asks Albertans if non-permanent residents should be charged a reasonable fee to access health and education systems. Other questions delve into the Constitution, asking whether Alberta should open negotiations with the rest of Canada to abolish the Senate and give provinces the power to appoint Superior Court judges. Ottawa is urging First Nations people to carry a passport in addition to their status card when crossing the border for travel. It's a new advisory this week. Before this week, the government website said First Nations people could freely enter the United States for the purposes of employment, study, retirement, investing, or immigration. But as of yesterday, it's been updated with new guidelines saying the First Nations people may be able to cross the border by land or by or water, but their secure certificate of Indian status has to be with them, also known as a secure status card. The website says acceptance of all status cards is entirely at the discretion of U.S. officials. Status cards and secure status cards are not accepted travel documents for air travel, it says. Just months after opening a warm-up shelter, the city of Saskatoon looking at moving. Jeremy Dodge, why?
Well, Daryl, the city is looking at a potential permanent location for our year-round drop-in center to help the city's homeless population. CTV's Keenan Sorokhan has the details on the property now under consideration by the city.
After years of searching for a long-term, year-round warm-up shelter for people living on the street, the city thinks it's finally found the right building.
It has been a challenge over the years to find locations. The city only really got into this in the last few years. And these types of facilities, do generate quite a bit of interest.
This building on Idlewild Drive is being proposed as a drop-in center. The city is looking to buy the building for $1.6 million and could move in as early as May to start renovating it to be open by November. The city just recently bought this building on Avenue C for the exact same purpose in the fall, but councillors concerned about concentrating social services in one area of town only approved its operations until the end of next month because the center is right next door to the Salvation Army's shelter.
The individuals that are experiencing homelessness, not having any stability in where they can access services, I can imagine that's incredibly challenging as well.
The Saskatoon Tribal Council, which runs the center, has had to move across many temporary locations the last couple of years and hopes that this new find puts an end to that.
It is frustrating, but I think now hopefully we can get to a point where we can actually build off of this new location, permanent location, and really put in some good quality infrastructure to have good outcomes and results.
Renovations like adding appropriate washrooms, showers, and laundry connections would cost an additional $350,000. And even after it's ready, Arcand says the city shouldn't rush to sell the Avenue C building.
I don't think we throw it out yet. I think we might have to utilize it for more supports and just really making sure that it's a good backup plan.
City Council will vote on the purchase next week. Keenan Sorokhan, CTV News, Saskatoon.
Well, Daryl, a warning this morning from a Saskatchewan woman who had her privacy breached by Regina police.
Yeah, the woman who CTV News has agreed not to identify due to privacy concerns was one of 6 people who had their personal information accessed by Regina Police Constable Clinton Duquette over a 3-year period. The woman was in a relationship with him and working at RPS for much of that time and told CTV News that among the others who had their privacy breached were her sibling and a former partner. Duquette was subject to a report from the Saskatchewan Privacy Commissioner released in December. Regina Police said earlier this month they have adopted or are in the process of adopting 8 of the 9 recommendations made by the Privacy Commissioner, but the officer's access to the police database would not be revoked.
I respectfully disagree with this recommendation on the basis that permanent revocation of access to eyes would effectively prevent an employee from performing their core duties, and that would amount to dismissal. The decision on discipline on that case has already been made and cannot be revisited. Number 3, should RPS not...
Chief Lorelei Davies there speaking after former Sergeant Robert Semenchuk was sentenced on charges stemming from a separate breach. Regina Police declined an interview with CTV News on Duquette's case, commenting only on the Privacy Commissioner's report following Semenchuk's sentencing. We will have more details on the woman's account of the breach online at our website, ctvnewsregina.ca. A teenage boy has been charged with second-degree murder after the death of a person on the Star Blanket Cree Nation. Early Wednesday morning, the File Hills Police Service responded to a report of a homicide at a residence on the Star Blanket Cree Nation. A male teenager was arrested at the scene. Saskatchewan RCMP have now taken over that investigation because File Hills Police do not have a major crimes unit because the accused and victim knew each other. The victim will not be identified. The youth appeared in court yesterday. The cleanup continues as communities dig out from this week's snowstorm. Environment Climate Change Canada revealing which areas got hardest hit. Prudhomme, Saskatchewan, northeast of Saskatoon had 52 centimeters of snow, or 20 inches if that's your method. Emma Lake had 45 centimeters of snow. Near Yorkton, the community of Bradenbury, around 17 centimeters of snow. As for wind gusts, Weyburn recorded the highest at 94 km, Estevan at 85. Boy, oh boy. New data shows pneumonia sent more Canadians to hospital last year. The Canadian Institute for Health Information says hospitalizations went up by almost 1/3 last year across the country. Children 5 to 17 were hardest hit. Hospitalizations in that age group more than doubled from the previous year. Doctors say a bad flu season last year likely drove the surge. The former deputy leader of the Conservative Party of Canada has a message for other party members who may be considering crossing the floor.
If you're thinking about it, just do it now. Get it over with. Don't drag this out. If you've decided that you want to leave the Conservative family, go ahead. Just go ahead and do it. And then the Conservatives can get back to what they do best.
That's Lisa Raitt speaking to CTV's Your Morning nationally after MP Matt Genereux announced he would join the Liberal caucus. Genereux is the third Conservative MP to defect to the Liberals in the last 3 months. A surge of doctors in Quebec are leaving the public sector now.
All of those bills, the fear that we had is that it will accelerate the exodus of doctors to either private care or to leave the province.
Now, recent data from Quebec's Health Insurance Board shows that since March of last year, more than 1,000 doctors left Quebec's public health care system, meaning they didn't bill the province, but instead charged patients directly. Experts say the numbers are alarming, but not surprising. In a statement to CTV News, Quebec's Federation of Medical Specialists said the departures are directly linked to a lack of resources and government reforms. One of those changes is to the way doctors are paid, as well as Bill 83. Which requires all new doctors to work in the public system for at least 5 years before moving to the private system. The Canadian and U.S. women delivered another classic matchup. The women, of course, yesterday losing the gold medal to the Americans. Boy, oh boy, what a tilt that was. Went to overtime. Here's some reaction.
Really thought that they were going to pull this one out. You love to see an underdog victory, and it sucks. And it especially sucks losing to the U.S.
Hope still alive. The Canadian men take on Finland later today. The gold medal, of course, happens on Sunday. We got some chances for some medals on the short track as well. The medal standings look like this. Norway continues to lead with 16 gold. That's rated heaviest, of course, by the IOC. 34 total medals. Italy has 26. Good showing from the host nation. Canada with 4 gold, 5 silver, 6 bronze. Let's turn our attention to the weather picture. It's bitter cold out there, Janelle.
It's very cold, and that cold is going to stick around for a couple more days. Now, we do have a beautiful week ahead of us next week, but for today and into the weekend, you'll want to be bundling up. Let's take a look right now at our current temperature here in Regina. That sun is slowly but surely starting to rise. That temperature remains cold, minus 26 here in the Queen City. We will be seeing quite a bit of sunshine throughout the province, but again, those temperatures aren't going to be great. Over to Saskatoon, minus 29, a little bit more cloud cover in the sky once that sun does rise. But again, we do see quite a sunny day ahead of us. Now for our future cast here, where you can see some cloud cover moving across the province. Again, no snow systems rolling through. Saskatoon area expecting to see a little bit more of a scattered flurry next week. But for the coming days, we are in the clear. Let's take a look now at current temperatures. Buffalo Narrows at minus 34, Stony Rapids minus 36, Nipawin minus 26, Hudson Bay minus 25 along with Melfort. The Battleford's minus 29, East End minus 23, Weyburn minus 25 along with Wynyard. Got Estevan at that minus 25 degree mark as well. For some highs here in the province, the Battlefords will be seeing minus 20, Swift Current minus 13, Weyburn minus 17, Yorkton at minus 19, Estevan minus 18. For our 7-day forecast here in Regina, minus 18 will be the high that we reach today. Now, these temperatures are quite cold. While the sun is up, in the evenings, they will be getting even colder. Minus 29 will be the low that we feel here tonight. Over the weekend, seeing that sun remain, minus 19 on Saturday, minus 17 on Sunday. We're starting a fresh week on Monday with sunshine, much more desirable temperatures at about minus 6. Tuesday and Wednesday, seeing those clouds begin to gather a little bit more again, but still nice temperatures, minus 9 on Tuesday, minus 5 on Wednesday. For Saskatoon, minus 21 today is that high and minus 28 for the low tonight. Over the weekend, minus 19 on Saturday, minus 18 on Sunday. Now Monday, Saskatoon and surrounding areas are expecting to see those scattered flurries return. Minus 12 on Monday, but seeing sunshine on Tuesday with minus 11. Reaching about minus 4 on Wednesday and a beautiful temperature of 0 degrees on Thursday. Take a look at today's rural forecast. Lloydminster at minus 19, Kindersley minus 16, Watrous and Melfort both at minus 21, Hudson Bay minus 16, East End and Maple Creek minus 14, Broadview and Kenora minus 19, Carlisle sitting at minus 17. Now let's take a look at Kalanzi, where internet speeds up to 1 gig are available from SaskTel. Seeing a high of about minus 21 here today, mainly sunny skies, no snow in the forecast.
Hello there, Kara Wagland in the SportsCenter newsroom with your must-see moment from Thursday. And for it, we head to Cleveland, where the Cavs were hosting the Nats first quarter. Cavs running the floor. James Harden lobs it up for Donovan Mitchell, who throws it down over the defender. Harden not even looking Mitchell's way. Cleveland's new backcourt duo putting on a little showtime for your must-see moment from Thursday. And coming up Friday on TSN, you can see men's NCAA basketball. We have VCU taking on St. Louis. Coverage for that one gets underway at 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific. That's all for now from SportsCenter. Have a great day.
National Love Your Pet Day, and there's no shortage of cuddles for this dog groomer. Puppy loves getting the blow drying done. Little groom for the little pooch. So we got to turn things over to you at home with our question of the day. It is National Love Your Pet Day. You can submit those by email, yourmorningsaskatchewan@ctv.ca, or by scanning the QR code that will be on your screen. There it is. Let's get right to the pictures because we got a lot of them.
Yeah, we got some great answers coming in. We love to see these pictures. Our first one coming up here is from Cole. This is Wicket and Willie Jack ice fishing with Dad at Blackstrap.
Just keeping off the snowy ice.
Of course.
Ice there. Oh my goodness.
Everybody gets a share.
Warren's dog Harley is soaking up the sun. A little bit different conditions there, JD.
Oh, but he looks really happy.
Yeah. That would be nice. I actually opened up our blinds because the sun was shining for about 5 minutes yesterday. It was a nice, quick reprieve. So it happens.
Yeah, it sure does.
A little bit of relief.
Yes.
Alice sent in her, it's a Shorkie. Alice is the Shorkie. The owner is Annette, 5 years old, best friend. Look at that.
Very sweet.
Very sweet.
Heather also sending us a pair of adorable cats. These are Taz and Charlie.
Let's see Taz and Charlie. There they come. Oh, the cat tree. Look at that.
And they get along.
You have a cat hammock in your car.
I do.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's odd. Sure. It's very strange. Everett sent us a picture of his friend. His friend is named Chuck Norris. And Chuck's wearing a jersey.
Look at Chuck.
Yeah.
Look at how sweet he is. Very fitting.
Perched there. I know how JD feels about dogs in costume. Yeah. So this is perfect.
It looks thrilled, doesn't he?
Let's take a look at maybe his cousin Vinny, sent in to us by a viewer, Chelsea. Where's Vinny at? There's Vinny.
Oh.
Right in that heart.
Smiling for the picture.
In that heart and into all of our hearts.
I know. That's adorable.
That's pretty good.
And we've also got Sherry from Yorkton who sent us a shot of Gabby.
Look at Gabby.
Golden Mountain after a spa day. Cape. Very
Spa
cute.
day.
Spa day. Very, very sweet. She looks beautiful.
Cleaned right up. Last but not least, let's show you a picture of Louise sending us in a shot of her husky. Is 11 years old. This is Sky with those beautiful blue eyes.
Oh, Sky.
Wow.
Yep.
Another beautiful gal.
Staring right into your heart. So let's show that QR code one more time so people can scan it and send in more photos and make Janelle do more work by aggregating them all. So scan that. We'll be back with your morning mystery right after this.
The U.S. International Trade Commission has launched an investigation into rules of origin regulations for automobiles under the Canada-U.S.-Mexico Agreement on Trade. A news release on the Commission's website says the investigation will analyze the regulations' impact on the U.S. economy, effect on U.S. competitiveness, and relevancy considering recent technology changes. Aritzia says it has purchased U.S. fashion brand Fred Segal. Vancouver-based Aritzia would not share the value or terms of its deal, but says it includes Fred Segal's intellectual property. In tandem with the deal, Aritzia will also be leasing Fred Segal's iconic Melrose Avenue property in Los Angeles. Fred Segal's known for selling trendy clothes that garnered celebrity customers and made the brand a cultural touchstone in Hollywood and beyond. Those are your morning business headlines. For B&M Bloomberg, I'm Roger Peterson.
Time for your morning mystery. We've got 3 clues lined up for you. We're going to either make Janelle take out her earpiece so they don't cheat, or I've got my anti-cheating device, which is just going to blow her some air, compressed air. Let's get to clue number 1 and use a thing today. It works. It's effective. This activity is believed to date back 7,000 or 8,000 years.
Okay.
Don't make me get the air canister.
Okay.
Comes from the Nordic word meaning split piece of wood. Okay.
Yeah.
The world speed record is 252 kilometers per hour. Okay,
Okay. Okay.
Do I need
Nope.
Do I need the air
Nope. I think
I'll get it. Cheats and gets the hose.
Oh.
Okay, ready?
Okay.
1, 2, 3. Skiing. Did we all say skiing? Skiing. The answer
Yeah, we
is
did. Oh, I gotta get it in
252
camera.
kilometers per hour.
It's there.
Wow.
That's pretty quick.
It's National Ski and Snowboard Day, so celebrate accordingly.
Yay.
Boy, oh boy, that's today's morning mystery. One more.
Studio consideration provided by Father's Furniture, specializing in quality Canadian-made furniture.
Let's take a look at some gas prices. In Regina, the common cost to fill up is $127.9. You can find regular fuel for as low as $104.9. And in Saskatoon, the common cost is $126.9, and the lowest you might find is $114.9. Taking a look at these farm markets, the street price of canola here is $624.83 per ton, and the futures price is $672.60 per ton. Amber durum wheat is way off on that one. $278.59 per ton. Red spring wheat is $263.67 per ton. And the Canadian dollar begins the day trading at 73.01 cents US.
Good morning, welcome back to Your Morning. And we begin in news with this. The provincial government has settled a major lawsuit launched by Surecom Industries over the loss of a tire recycling contract. But the NDP opposition in this province says there are other problems ahead. Here's Wayne Mantika.
Saskatchewan's scrap tire recycling program has been plagued with problems in recent years after Saskatoon's Surecom Industries lost the recycling contract. It was awarded to recyclers from the U.S. and Eastern Canada. Now the NDP say scrap tires are piling up near Clavette.
So high that we can once again see them from space.
Earlier this week, the province agreed to pay $4.8 million to settle a lawsuit with Surecom Industries after the former recycler launched a lawsuit alleging unfair exclusion from contract bidding. In a written statement, the province said it was not admitting liability, but the province believes that resolving this matter at this stage provides greater certainty and stability for the scrap tire recycling industry and benefits Saskatchewan residents. Surecom says it's relieved matters have come to an end and that it is prepared to move forward. The company now focuses on manufacturing.
We make a multitude of products, from parking curbs to curb ramps, rubber paving, and currently we are employing just shy of 100 people.
The NDP says the government is to blame for what happened to Surecom's recycling division.
It's another example of the Sask Party killing jobs. They've basically paid $5 million to kill 100 Saskatchewan jobs at a local company out of Saskatoon, and tire recycling for the province is still a mess.
Surecom couldn't comment yet on how the company might grow its operations in Saskatchewan. It's an industry that relies on several factors, including an adequate supply of raw materials. Wayne Mantika, CTV News, Regina.
Reduced hours for Regina's Urgent Care Centre this weekend. Its normal operating hours will not apply this weekend for today, Saturday, and Sunday. It'll be open from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. And if you need a service after that, you're asked to go to either of Regina's 2 hospitals instead. Saskatchewan Health Authority says the adjustments are to accommodate doctor availability and staffing holidays. The normal hours of operation are 8 in the morning to 9:30 p.m. Of course, again this weekend, 8 to 4 today through Sunday. Prince Albert police have arrested one man and seized a significant amount of drugs following an investigation that began last month. Cocaine, meth, MDMA, as well as more than $12,000 in cash and other drug trafficking equipment was taken as evidence after a search of a basement suite on 7th Street East in Regina. 33-year-old Laban Elmi has been charged with multiple drug offenses and made a first court appearance on Tuesday. A bail hearing for a Saskatoon man with a history of spying on women has been rescheduled. 37-year-old Kyle Hemelek was previously convicted on 70 incidents of voyeurism, indecent acts, and trespassing at night. Just hours after being released from jail, he was arrested for allegedly using a cell phone with a camera, which is a breach of his bail conditions. Hemelek will remain behind bars at Saskatoon's Correctional Centre until his bail hearing, which is now scheduled for Tuesday. The Supreme Court of Canada says it will not hear an appeal over a case involving a Saskatchewan man with ties to a Canadian nationalist political party. In February of 2024, Travis Patron was convicted in Saskatoon of criminal harassment and failing to comply with her probation order. The offenses happened at a shopping mall where Patron confronted an off-duty police officer about its relationship with his girlfriend, noting their different ancestries. He appealed his conviction to the Saskatchewan Court of Appeal, alleging failure of disclosure led to an unfair trial, but it was dismissed. He appealed to the Supreme Court of Canada, but on Thursday, the country's highest court says it will not hear that appeal. NASA has conducted its second rocket fuel test to determine when Artemis astronauts might be able to head to the moon. This is the second attempt this month. The first was halted by leaks, delaying the first lunar trip in more than half a century. This time around, launch teams pumped more than 2.6 million liters of fuel into the rocket atop its launch pad. They counted all the way down to the half-minute mark as planned, with no notable leaks reported, and NASA declared the test as complete late last night. The outcome of this test will determine whether the March launch date is possible to send 4 astronauts to the moon. The RCMP Heritage Centre in Regina revealing a new exhibit exploring the red dress movement. The Togetherness Project is meant to bring awareness and action for missing and murdered Indigenous women and girls. The 2 artists who created the exhibit hope those who see it as a memorial and a way to move forward. A number of students from Regina took part in the project, and the Heritage Centre says these types of projects are a part of a strategic plan they have in place.
It's really an honor for us to be able to facilitate and to create these programs to ensure that students are learning. Really, at the core of these programs, we are hoping that we can help students see the ways in which we can all create a better future together.
Us
And see it at the Heritage Centre until August. The University of Regina Cougars have two teams going in of opposite directions at the University Curling Championship at the Cali Curling Club. The women are on a roll after an opening draw loss, now won 3 in a row, defeating Memorial University out of Newfoundland, a team which includes Brad Gushu's daughter Hannah. They beat them 7-6 Thursday afternoon. They're now 3-1.
Playing well, and we'll just keep progressing every game. We're hoping the ice is fantastic, and we're really catching on right now. And yeah, we're hoping to just finish off the round robin as well as we can. Whatever happens, we'll be proud of ourselves because we played well this week.
There you go. As for the men, a little different nationals this week so far. They are winless, 0-4. The championships will wrap up on Saturday over at the Cali Curling Club. Good weekend to go in and watch some curling because it's a little bit chilly out there today.
Any reason to stay inside, I would highly recommend it. It's going to remain quite cold for the next few days. We will see some relief next week. Let's take a look right now at our current temperature on our morning view, which is brought to you by Affinity Wealth Management. We know investing. Minus 26 currently here in Regina. Starting to see a little bit of moisture in the air again. That temperature is going to be cold. Be careful on those roads. Check in with Highway Hotline. Over to Saskatoon now, minus 29. Going to see some sunshine today for a good portion of Saskatchewan. So amongst all of these cold temperatures, it is something to look forward to. Over for our future cast here now, you can see those clouds rolling through the province. Nothing significant in terms of snow systems moving through. For a majority of Saskatchewan, at least on Monday and into next week as well, Saskatoon will be seeing a little bit of precipitation. However, for the coming days, we won't be seeing much of that. For our current temperatures, Buffalo Narrows is at minus 34, Stony Rapids minus 36, Nipawin minus 26, Hudson Bay minus 25, the Battlefords and Saskatoon again at that minus 29 degree mark, Kindersley minus 27, Yorkton and Wynyard both at minus 25. We've got East End at minus 23. For our highs today, seeing quite a bit of sunshine in Saskatchewan, a couple areas where there will be that more cloud cover. Battleford's minus 20, Swift Current minus 13, Moose Jaw minus 16, Weyburn minus 17 and seeing that cloud cover. Yorkton minus 19, Estevan seeing minus 18. For our 5-day forecast here in Regina, minus 18 will be that high that we feel today. Now, these temperatures are cold, but tonight it's going to get even colder. Minus 29 will be that low that we feel here this evening. Over into Saturday, minus 19, minus 29 again as that low. On Sunday, minus 17 as the high, minus 18 in the evening. On Monday, we start to see some relief, minus 6 as that current temperature. That will be the high that we feel to start off a brand new week. Over to Saskatoon, minus 21 as today's high, minus 28 in the night, seeing that sunshine sticking around through Saturday as well. Minus 19 as Saturday's high and minus 18 on Sunday. Now Monday again, seeing that precipitation rolling back into Saskatoon and surrounding areas, sitting at about minus 12 for that high, and on Tuesday, minus 11 and some sunshine.
Athol Murray College in Notre Dame, the Hounds, announced just yesterday they are launching a U19 prep program. The school's female hockey coordinator is in studio with us. That is Sarah Hodges. Sarah, thank you so much for doing this. This is an exciting announcement for young ladies across the province who want to continue their hockey career past that U18 age bracket. How did this all come about, and what does it mean to you guys?
Part of it was just the equality between the male and the female programs. Right now, our boys have a path to graduate at Notre Dame. With our girls, if they come in and their birth dates don't align with their kind of normal school year, then we don't have a place for our girls to play in grade 12. So we want to make sure that all of the kids that we get into Notre Dame, wherever they come from, have the opportunity to graduate from the college.
Your position was created in order to boost female hockey, and it's grown in leaps and bounds over the last little while. What did it mean to watch the women's game yesterday, and how did you break that down?
It was fun to watch women's game. We watched it in the hockey office, and it's always fun to watch a hockey game with a bunch of people that know the sport. And we were, I'd say, a little surprised that the Canadians were as close as they were. I thought they played extremely well, and
inspiring to your athletes to watch that level of competition and just how narrow that gap is getting?
I would hope so. I think inspiring to everybody, and just to see the growth of the women's game is exciting.
Their goaltending was phenomenal, wasn't it? The Americans' goaltending was just superb.
Yeah, I thought both goalies played pretty well.
Both goalies played well. Now, getting back to your programs, this is where every athlete would love to get to one day when they enroll at the Notre Dame program. If somebody's watching out there and they want to get involved in any of your women's programs, how do they get out there, and what do you guys offer that's different than everywhere else?
I think lots of things. So how do they get out there? I think reaching out. We also recruit. So we've got, I do a lot of most of the recruiting on the girls' side. We have a scout that does a bit as well. So we get out and see kids. We want them to, if they're interested, to reach out to us as well. So that's important. And then what's different, I think everything at Notre Dame is right there, where a lot of hockey academies are. You're billeting with a family, you're driving to a public school, where everything's there. They're living in dorms. It's a very safe place to be. School's right there, and you have teachers coaching, so everything's integrated. So that's something that's special. And I think the other thing that's really special for, especially like our U15 program, is they're on the ice every day, and they're in the weight room at least 2 to 3 times a week during the season, and more in the off season. And you can tell with our, grade 8 and grade 9 girls this year, it's like their growth has been huge, and something that they're not getting in all other centers.
It's a unique opportunity, for sure. The training and that ice sheet is phenomenal.
It is.
Like, you guys have done a wonderful job out there. Who are you competing against for some of these athletes? Is anybody really on your level?
Yeah, I think we're competing, like when they get a little older, we're competing against the Saskatchewan Midget AAA League or U18 AAA League, and I think with the younger ones, we're competing against academies, so it's everybody, and we're also recruiting kids from not just the province but all over the world. And that's we have a U15 girl from Japan, and we have, I think, 3 or 4 on that team from the US. So we're looking everywhere, and it's a path for a lot of kids right now to go to an academy.
World-class program, and you're a big part of that. Sarah, thank you so much for doing it. NotreDame.ca for more information.
Hey, it's Chase from Pure Country Mornings, back to countdown to this week's top 5. We're starting with a new one to the countdown. Blake Shelton, Say Country or Die Trying, starts us off at number 5. I'ma stay country or die trying. Big drop for Hardy, was number 1 last week, and well, now that he's toured through Saskatchewan and gone, he is landing at number 4 with Favorite Country Song. My favorite country song. A slow climb for Max McNown this week. He has climbed a spot at number 3, Better Me For You. Better Me For You. The one song that didn't move from last week's top 5, number 2, once again this week, is Ella Langley and Choosing Texas. Choosing Texas, I can tell. And up 2 spots, they grab themselves yet another number 1. It is Jelly Roll and Shabuzi and Amen is your top song. Thanks for counting down this week's top 5 with us. Catch all of these and the rest of your favorites with Pure Country 92.7. You can find us with the free iHeartRadio.
Okay, let's head things back, or send things back out to Regina's Real District for more on what the Frost Festivals last weekend holds.
Good morning. We are back at the Real District, now at the Sports Cage Lounge, and I've got Kat with me. Kat, we're talking everything snow and cold this time around because this weekend's going to be a little bit chilly. What do you guys have planned outside for some of these colder activities?
You betcha. Well, I mean, we're really happy to see the fresh coating of snow, but the temperature is a little misbehaving. So we're expecting to have all of our regular programming as normal. So we'll have our Indigenous performances, the Indigenous games, street hockey will be rolling, and of course the giant snow hill, but we are being very mindful of the temperatures. Temperatures are one of the biggest ones for winter festivals festivals, and safety is always top of mind for us.
For sure it is. So on that same note, what safety precautions are you guys putting in place in this cold weather?
So we've got a temperature threshold for operating. We don't want our staff or our guests or anybody exposed to the cold when they don't have to be. So minus 20 is really where we hit that cap. If we hit minus 20, then we go into a situation where we would have to close down the event. It's not safe for anybody. So we would send out messaging on our socials, send out all the communications we need to let people know what's going on. But as long as we don't hit that minus 20, then everything is go.
All right, so make sure you're bundling up if you're coming out to check on weekend 3 of Frost. Lots of fun ahead. Kat, what are you most excited for to do outside?
I mean, I think I got to go down that snow hill one more time. You know, the first time wasn't quite there, but now we got that fresh powder out there. I think I got to grab a crazy carpet and head on down.
I'm with you on that one. It looks like a lot of fun. Thank you so much. Once again, weekend 3 of Frost. This is the last weekend, so make sure you're coming out, bundling up, and enjoying some fun activities. It's February 20th, and we have these milestones to share with you. A happy 10th birthday to Ellie. Your grandma and grandpa are sending you all their love. Aubrey is turning 9 today. Happy birthday to you, with love from Papa and Granny. And it's Rooney's 6th birthday. Your family hopes you have an extra special day.
Milestones, brought to you by Harbor Landing Village, an award-winning senior care and living community in Regina.
If you have a milestone coming up, you can send us an email to yourmorningsaskatchewan@ctv.ca. You can scan that QR code on your screen. Please make sure to send them at least one day in advance.
Dane, the heartthrob star of Grey's Anatomy, will forever be immortalized as Dr. McSteamy.
This is awkward.
He would play the role of Dr. Mark Sloan for 6 seasons, 145 episodes. But more recently, it was the HBO series Euphoria that introduced him to a new generation.
Not my biggest regret. You are.
It was spring of last year when Dane announced he'd been diagnosed with ALS, also known as Lou Gehrig's disease. He opened up to Diane Sawyer.
Yeah, my left side is functioning. My right side is completely stopped working.
And then your left arm is fine?
No, it's going. I'm fighting as much as I can. There's so much about it that's out of my control.
Just 10 months after going public with his diagnosis, Dane passed away yesterday. A spokesperson saying he spent his final days surrounded by dear friends, his devoted wife, and his 2 beautiful daughters, Billy and Georgia, who were the center of his world.
My father was taken from me when I was young, and now, you know, there's a very good chance I'm going to be taken from my girls while they're very young. I mean, I really, at the end of the day, just all I want to do is spend time with my family and work a little bit if I can.
And make sure that you tell them that you love them.
Every day. Every day. They're loved. They know it.
Sophie Flay, ABC News, New York.
If he was McSteamy and the other guy was McDreamy, what are you? You're Mick what?
McRib.
McLovin?
That's what I'm going to go with. McLovin would work too.
What's going on the radio today?
You know what? After we've had this cold spell, we just want to kind of put that behind us. Start thinking about summertime. Country Thunder too. We got an all-winning weekend going on. So you're hearing code words today, tomorrow, and Sunday. When you hear those, you text them over to us at 54321, and then on Monday we'll have weekend passes to give away, so we'll call up our winners from that. Also on Monday, this is some big stuff too. We are returning with the Pure Country Passport, so this is your opportunity to win your way trip for 2 to Sandals, Jamaica. Coming up Monday morning, code words will be given out every 2 hours starting at 6 a.m. and going right till 6 p.m.
old saying a picture is worth 1,000 words, sometimes more. Typewriter enthusiasts rejoice. This is James Cook. He creates one-of-a-kind pictures all on a typewriter. So everything he's done here is just by strokes of the key.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
That's masterful. Also, how do you discover you have this talent?
I don't know. I think you develop it over time. I don't know if you like.
I think you have to create. Yeah, you'd have to build it with this. Yeah, it wouldn't be a quick overnight thing, that's for sure.
Do you think his dating profile says, "I want to see if you're my type"?
If it doesn't, it should now.
There you go. You're welcome. You're going to use that. I know you're going to use that. What do you got for us?
All right. Well, apparently, younger people collect a lot of cozy blankets, and one person figured out why.
It's over now. The pain is gone. I'm putting on my shades to cover up my eyes.
It's of course because when we went to a sleepover in the 90s.
Did you go to a lot of sleepovers in the 90s?
Or for some people in the early 2000s.
How many did you go to in the early 90s?
Sometimes we forget that our friends, or our forgetful friends rather, wouldn't offer us a blanket. So you have to kind of use what you've got around you. It's very resourceful.
Yeah. I'm never hiring anybody from 2000 ever again. Time out. News and weather after this. That's depressing.
The pain is gone. I'm putting on my shades to cover up.
It's Friday, February 20th.
Whether those details that were passed on by Andrew to Epstein were all part of his job and part of his responsibilities, well, that's an open question.
Well, Andrew, the former Prince Andrew, no longer in police custody, but there is a search going on at his home.
I want you to know how confident I am in the judgment of Albertans on these and other delicate issues.
Alberta's premier delivering an address last night promising a referendum on a number of things that may be controversial. Heartbreak in Milan felt across the country. Oh, so close to gold for Canada. Stay with us, Saskatchewan. Your morning starts right now. Oh, hi there. Welcome to Your Morning Saskatchewan on this National Ski and Snowboard Day. I'm Daryl.
I'm Janelle. Thank you for being back with us.
At least the good thing out of all of this snow that we've gotten is the ski hills.
Exactly.
Or the couple that we have in Saskatchewan are nice and fluffy now.
Nice and fluffy, but if you're hitting those slopes, you might want to bundle up.
Yeah, a little bit chilly today. Let's get to your news headlines. We begin this morning with the police search of the home of the former Prince Andrew hours after his release from custody.
Truly is a seismic moment for this country, and I think for the monarchy as well.
The former prince and king's brother can be seen leaving in videos from the police station. He was held for 11 hours after being arrested on suspicion of misconduct in public office. Police say they're looking into allegations raised in the Epstein files that Andrew passed on documents to Epstein during his time as a trade envoy. Andrew has always denied any wrongdoing, and he's not been charged with anything at this point. The investigation is ongoing. There are new concerns in Ottawa. The Canada-US-Mexico trade agreement may be in trouble.
We'll continue to make the point and keep telling them that we're ready at the table whenever the parties want to review CUSMA.
Okay, so the New York Times is reporting 2 Canadian officials, top ones involved in trade discussions with the U.S., say the expectations of a full renewal later this year are low. The U.S. president has said Canada is ripping off his country and could reportedly walk away from it. India's envoy to Ottawa says Canada could sign a comprehensive trade deal with New Delhi within a year, despite trade talks between the two countries stalling repeatedly since 2010. India's High Commissioner says a 12-month timeline isn't overly ambitious because both countries face a shifting geopolitical climate needing collaboration with multiple partners in multiple sectors. Prime Minister Mark Carney is set to make a highly anticipated visit to India in early March. His visit will likely invoke meetings with a wide range of government and business officials in New Delhi and Mumbai, according to the High Commissioner. Canada and India agreed in November to formally launch negotiations on a comprehensive economic partnership agreement, a trade deal covering almost all goods and services. businesses. Ottawa has launched a new study assessing the long-term potential of a Port of Churchill Plus project that could create an energy and trade corridor through the northern Manitoba regions and the Arctic.
We want to see a base commodity that can power this infrastructure for the next generation. That might be LNG. It might be another product, but I am talking about LNG because I want Manitobans to start thinking about that.
Okay, so it's running a market-sounding study on how rail, port, and other improvements near the town of Churchill, Manitoba might attract more businesses, grain, mining, and other companies. It sits on the shore of the Hudson Bay. The new study will consult senior executives across sectors to understand the likelihood that they would use the facilities if the infrastructure is improved. It ends in March. Just months after opening a Warmhouse shelter in the city of Saskatoon, they're looking at moving. Jeremy Dodge joining us with why. Jeremy?
Well, Daryl, the city's considering buying a property on Idlewild Drive. It'll be a year-round drop-in center for homeless people. But this is happening just 2 months after opening the current drop-in shelter on Avenue C. The city says it's going to cost about $1.6 million to buy the building, with the goal of opening in November. Concerns were raised at City Council last fall when the city agreed to buy the building on Avenue C and open a drop-in center as cold temperatures arrived. Councillors and community members opposed the center being next door to the Salvation Army's existing shelter, prompting councillors to task administration to keep searching for a more permanent spot to decentralize social services.
I think it's challenging, and I think everyone would recognize it's challenging from the community service providers that we have, the individuals that are experiencing homelessness, not having any stability in where they can access services. I can imagine that's incredibly challenging as well.
Now, following the latest blast of snow, a reminder to drivers to clear your vehicles before hitting the road. Sorry, I've moved on to the next story now. All right, I guess, okay. Well, drivers must have a clear front, side, and rear view. Failing to properly clear snow or ice, and that can result in, of course, a $125 fine under the Traffic Safety Act, Daryl.
Public transit users in Prince Albert, Jeremy, are forced to adjust after heavy snowfall led to the closure of several routes. Jasmine Pelche takes us on a ride.
This week's blizzard left Prince Albert blanketed in more than a foot of snow and left transit users with limited options. Wednesday afternoon, the city announced it was shutting down bus operations. On Thursday, the city announced the West Hill, East Flat, all day and rush hour routes were operating with reduced stops.
We've had to make a decision about, safety for our riders, safety for our drivers, and, some of the streets just aren't clear or safe enough right now for our buses to go through.
The West Flat, East Hill, and Core Express routes were not in operation Thursday. In a news release, Director of Public Works Jeff De Silva said the roadways crew has been working long hours to keep up with the heavy snowfall, needing to return to emergency routes that had already cleared. They worked 16 hours yesterday and started again early this morning, and that the crew will be working as many hours as safely possible to keep traffic moving. Transit routes are cleared once all emergency routes are operational, and snow removal is ongoing.
We're hoping by Monday that things should be operating as normal. Another thing I want to add is we have a contractor that cleans out the bus stops. We've been in contact with them, so they're also working to clear out the bus stops as we speak as well.
Parking on designated snow routes is prohibited, and the city's snow route parking ban has been extended until 4 p.m. Saturday. Transit users can track active transit routes and snow clearing operations through the city website. Jasmine Pelche, CTV News, Prince Albert.
Might have been heartbreak for our Canadian women following yesterday's gold medal game, but the Italian women's team set out a shock by qualifying for the playoffs and winning for the first time in history. Garrett Berry explains the success and the Canadian connections.
Montreal-born Kayla Tutino was named assistant captain of Team Italy at these Olympic Games. She scored the very first goal for the country, helping them power through to a win over France and then another win over Japan that qualified them for the playoffs. She is one of several Canadian, Italian players that committed to playing in Italy and representing this country at the Olympic Games.
I'm proud to be Canadian, and I'm also proud of my heritage. My grandparents are all Italian, my parents are Italian, and my mom was born here in Italy. So our ties to Italy are very strong. We still have family here that we keep in touch, and we've come to Italy regularly every year. It's been a big part of my upbringing, so for me to give back in this way and represent my grandparents and my parents, it's really special.
The two ice surfaces that have seen Olympic action will be taken down, packed away over the next couple of weeks here in Milan. So the challenge for ice hockey executives and fans and players is how to make the energy that's been created here and turn it into something lasting. Tutino says that's a big job, but it started with the impressive performance by Team Italy at these games and will continue with the Tier 2 World Championships being held in April. Garrett Berry, CTV News, Milan.
Let's take a look at the medal count. Italy is doing very well. They've now slipped into third, 9 gold medals. The gold is what's rated the highest by the IOC. Norway in first with both total medal count and 16 golds. Canada now has 4 gold, more chances to win later today. Let's get over to an important time of year for certain religions. Western Christians are in the midst of Lent, 7 weeks of prayer, fasting, and donations to worthy causes. Muslims are also observing Ramadan, a month of prayer, fasting, and focus on the community. Damian Smith reports.
Muslims in Regina are gathering for Dahur on the first few days of Ramadan.
So as you may know, Islam is made up of 5 pillars. We pray before sunrise, just after the sun has reached its highest point, before sunset, after sunset, and at night.
For around 12 hours of the day, they are not supposed to eat or drink, and changes have to be made to their everyday lifestyle to teach discipline and empathy.
During this month of Ramadan, we must ensure that we have something that is known as suhoor or sehri in the morning, which is it's basically breakfast before the time for Fajr sets in.
As daylight lasts a little longer each day, Muslims get used to the schedule as they believe it will bring more spiritual growth.
And I slowly wing it off, getting ready for Ramadan, because to go from eating 2-3 times a day to eating barely nothing, it hits you.
As the 9th month of the Islamic calendar, the month reflects on prayers and focusing on community.
It's a constant reminder for you throughout the day that maybe you should watch what you do. You should watch what you say. You should watch how you treat other people.
Spiritually, it brings you more close to the Creator, close to the Allah. Time and chance more to connect with the people.
The last day of Ramadan is in mid-March, which is immediately followed by the celebration of Eid al-Fitr. Damian Smith, CTV News, Regina.
All right, let's take a look at weather for today and into the weekend. On our morning view here to see the current temperature, which is brought to you by Affinity Wealth Management. We know investing. Minus 26 here in Regina. Seeing some precipitation in the sky. Now, those temperatures are going to remain quite cold today and into the weekend. But for a good portion of Saskatchewan, we will start to see some relief next week. Over to Saskatoon, minus 29. Also seeing that cloud cover in the sky as the morning goes on. And into the afternoon, we'll start to see a little bit of sunshine coming through. Over to our future cast, you can see those clouds moving through the province. Again, not expecting to see any systems of snow coming today or into the weekend as well. Now, Saskatoon and surrounding areas will be seeing some scattered flurries starting on Monday. For our currents here in the province, Buffalo Narrows minus 35, Spiritwood minus 37, Melfort and Hudson Bay at minus 26, South End minus 29, Kindersley minus 28, East End minus 23, Weyburn minus 26, along with Yorkton, Estevan minus 25. Now some highs today here in the province. The Battlefords minus 20, Prince Albert minus 18. Yorkton seeing that cloud cover in the sky for a majority of the day, minus 19. Moose Jaw minus 16, Weyburn minus 17. For our 7-day forecast here in Regina today, we will be reaching that high of about -18, seeing quite a bit of sunshine as the day goes on. Now again, those temperatures are cold and they will continue to get colder once the sun goes down. -29 will be the low that we reach tonight and tomorrow night. Sunday, we're wrapping up the weekend with sunshine and -17. Now Monday is when things lighten up for us. -6 as that high, -15 as the low that night. Seeing some more clouds gathering in for Tuesday and Wednesday, and on Thursday, 1 degree, a beautiful day. Over to Saskatoon, -21 as today's high, -28 for the low. Over the weekend, -19 on Saturday, -18 on Sunday. Monday for, again, Saskatoon and surrounding areas. Those scattered flurries are on the way, but still -12, and on Tuesday, -11. Seeing some more clouds coming in on Wednesday and Thursday, -4 on Wednesday, and a beautiful 0 degrees on Thursday.
This day in history, 1959, the Diefenbaker government cancelled Canada's Avro Aero aviation program. February 20th, 2014, Canada's women's ice hockey team won its 4th consecutive Olympic gold medal at the Sochi Games. Too soon. February 20th, 2014, Canada's women won gold in curling at the Sochi Olympics. We still got a shot there.
In case you missed it, they're trying something interesting in Ireland. The country's launching a permanent program to offer basic income to artists.
Head into the month of March and St. Patrick's Day, and our politicians will travel all over the world for St. Patrick's Day. And when they do, what they bring with them is our culture. It's what we're known for: Irish dancing, Irish singing. And we do, as you say, we punch above our weight for the size of our country with the culture that we have.
Irish officials believe the island of 5 million people's outsized influence on culture around the world, so they're looking to maintain that. 2,000 artists will get this basic income so that they can focus on their craft. Now, they did try this in the pandemic as well, and now it is a permanent program.
It's nice, but I like that the artists that they show were every Hollywood celebrity they could find that don't need a basic income.
Yeah, I agree.
It's really
Not
weird
great
to see
drop
Liam
this.
Neeson pop up there. I was like, don't think he needs the cash. Let's get over to our question of the day. It's not so much a question, it's more of a demand or a request. It's National Love Your Pet Day, so we've asked you to send in pictures of your furry friends, and boy, oh boy, do we have some answers. That's how you would have done it. We're closed now. No more. Don't send us any more. Let's see what we've got here. Let's see what we've got here. Inbox is flooded.
Yeah. We got some really sweet ones coming in. Chelsea sent over a picture of Vinny
in a heart. In a heart.
How sweet is that?
I love the eyebrows.
Yeah.
Very expressive.
Very expressive.
Yes, yeah. Draco and Nugget sent in by Colleen. I think they're siblings. They're little siblings.
Oh, Fritz.
Fritz on the footstool. This is sent in by Jody. And of course, Dodger here looking very relaxed.
Cannot confirm whether or not that was named after you, Jeremy.
All right. We await.
He's never heard that before.
Confirmation.
He's never heard that before. Prince Harry and Gabby. Prince Harry is the name.
I love those names. And then, of course, Rocket here, sent in by Gary, looking very, very happy. And we've got
Rocket
one more.
looks like a rocket.
I like that it's Luke and Perry, like Luke Perry.
I know, it's not funny.
Sent in by Shannon.
Hey, that's good.
That's great.
That's good.
And Tara sent in Winston on what looks to be Winston's birthday.
Okay, enjoy that cake, I guess.
Birthday, Winston.
Oh, boy.
Really fun. Well, thank you so much to everybody who sent in your photos here today. These were adorable. We will be back Monday with another fun question of the day.
Speaking of adorable, we got Les Lazaruk and the Saskatoon Blades after this short timeout.
It contains
continues to be a concerning trend. Colorectal cancer is killing more young adults, with death rates rising in those under age 50 by more than 1% every year for more than 20 years, advancing this disease from the 5th most common cause of cancer death in the early to mid-90s to the most common in those under age 50 in 2023.
This is really an outlier and really something that needs significant attention.
Dr. William Dayhut with the American Cancer Society says deaths are declining for other cancers in young adults. It's only colorectal cancer deaths that continue to rise. There are 5 warning signs that many may dismiss: persistent abdominal pain, rectal bleeding, persistent diarrhea or constipation, unexplained weight loss, and iron deficiency anemia, often caused by hidden blood loss leading to fatigue and weakness.
Young people should not ignore any symptom that they find unusual, and that if they see their physician and they're told they're too young to have a problem, they probably need to see somebody else.
Dayhut says about half of the colorectal cancer deaths in young adults are in those between the ages of 45 and 49, and screening is lowest in that age group. A colonoscopy can find polyps, which can turn into cancer, and get rid of them.
If those polyps are removed, that reduces or can eliminate the risk of cancer from those polyps.
For Health Minute, I'm Mandy Gaither.
Health Report, brought to you in part by SEIU West, Saskatchewan's first healthcare union.
I am joined now by the voice of the Saskatoon Blades. It is Les Lazaruk on the road with the team in Red Deer this morning. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Jeremy.
So let's get right into it. The Blades sitting 6th in the Eastern Conference, a winning season, technically, 27, 23, and 4, but certainly not lighting the league on fire like those rival Prince Albert Raiders are. Tell us about these Blades at this point in the season. Les, where are we at?
They are consistently inconsistent. That has been the mantra. I mean, they have the ability to beat teams, and they play up to teams' levels. Like they have won in Prince Albert, of all places, this season, in the last month, in fact. They have also beaten the Medicine Hat Tigers at home. So they can do it, but they also have this maddening idea that maybe they should play down to the level of teams below them in the standings, and playing against Swift Current and losing in Swift Current to the Broncos, who are in last place. The Regina Pats are just in a playoff spot, about 15 points behind the Blades. They lost at home to the Pats in a wild scoring game. So people are kind of wondering, what the heck are the Blades? And so am I, quite frankly. They've proven they can do it. It's just a matter of doing it on a consistent basis.
Yeah, like you said, it is maddening. Is it going to cost this team a playoff spot?
Oh, no, I think they'll be in the playoffs. They've got a nice little cushion here right now. The top 8 in the conference make it. They're in 6th. And like I said, they're 13 points ahead of Regina, 14 ahead of Red Deer, who occupy the final 2 spots, and 15 ahead of Moose Jaw. It would take a Herculean effort by by 3 of those teams, all 3 of them, to work past the Blades in the standings, and for the Blades to not make it.
Okay, well, we'll hope for the best as the season progresses on. Then we'll see where they take this. At least a first round of playoffs would be nice to have here at SaskTel Center. So let's move on, and let's talk to something that was announced this week. The first annual Legends Night coming up at the end of the March. Kind of a long time coming, I think, a way to honor the legacy of this team.
Well, it is a long time coming, and I think the fact that the Saskatoon Entertainment Group does the SaskTel Center, they basically run the show there, are able to finally come up with a way to put a permanent display on in the concourse level of SaskTel Center. And as a result, you're going to get a chance to see some memorabilia and to see players and coaches and the like and owners being honored for their great work over the course of the years with regards to this franchise. So everybody that's in the rafters right now, the numbers that have been retired, the people on the builder banners, those types of things, they're all going to be included in that display. And then you also add in the idea that you've got two new inductees, and you've seen the video of them. Here's Kelly Chase doing what he did best in the course of his time.
Man.
And of course, before that, former captain Mark Watton. They're going to be inducted into the Saskatoon Blades Hall of Fame, which will be part of that display on the concourse at SaskTel Center. And I'm really looking forward to March 21st, because seeing alumni, that's going to be massive. And I think a lot of fans are going to be looking forward to seeing those people from the past come back home to have a look and see what they're all about and how they have progressed with their lives since being a member of the Saskatoon Blades.
It's so cool. So much history. It better late than never for something like this. Les, thank you so much. Saskatoon Blades visiting the Rebels tonight in Red Deer and then off to Calgary tomorrow. Follow along with @BladesVoice on social media. Les Lazaruk, thanks for coming on.
Not a problem, Jeremy. Thanks for having me.
Take care.
Hello there, Kara Wagland in the SportsCenter newsroom with your must-see moment from Thursday. And for it, we head to Cleveland, where the Cavs were hosting the Nats first quarter. Cavs running the floor. James Harden lobs it up for Donovan Mitchell, who throws it down over the defender. Harden not even looking Mitchell's way. Cleveland's new backcourt duo putting on a little showtime for your must-see moment from Thursday. And coming up Friday on TSN, you can see men's NCAA basketball. We have VCU taking on St. Louis. Coverage for that one gets underway at 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific. That's all for now from SportsCenter. Have a great day.
8:30. Welcome to CTV Your Morning Saskatchewan. We begin in Alberta with the Premier and the government putting 9 questions to a province-wide referendum in October, including whether to restrict social services from some immigrants.
You know how confident I am in the judgment of Albertans on these and other delicate issues. Although there are some politicians and commentators that fear direct democracy, such as referendums, I do not. I trust the judgment of Albertans.
Okay, so another asks for approval to cut off newcomers from social services if they don't fall under the Alberta-approved immigration status. The question doesn't define what the status means. One question asks Albertans if non-permanent residents should be charged a, quote, reasonable fee to access health and education systems. Public transit users in Prince Albert have been forced to adjust their heavy schedules due to snowfall. It's led to the closure of several bus routes. Jasmine Peltier reports. In other news, we'll move on from that. Prince Andrew in scandal. Of course, as we know, his royal palace being searched. Here's a look back on other royal scandals in history.
This morning, it's a scandal unlike the royal family has ever seen before. Andrew Mountbatten Windsor, the king's brother and former prince, arrested.
In terms of royal scandals, where does this stack up?
In the 12 years that I worked as the late Queen's press secretary, nothing came as close as this has done. I think she would have been absolutely appalled by the state of events which have culminated in Andrew's arrest today.
The monarchy has been tested before, from the very public divorce of then Prince Charles and Princess Diana in the 1990s, and the aftermath of Princess Diana's death. All the way back to the abdication of King Edward, leaving the monarchy to marry an American divorcee in the 1930s. And Queen Elizabeth telling Princess Margaret who she could and could not marry, as dramatized in the fictional Netflix series The Crown.
It is my duty as Queen to refuse Margaret marriage to a divorced man.
Or the ongoing conflict between the king and his son Prince Harry, after Harry and his wife Meghan stepped down as working royals and moved to America. They've survived divorce and personal drama, but this time, public reaction here calling the latest scandal unprecedented.
This arrest is a tremendous shock for the British monarchy. This is a very serious case, and Andrew will be given no special treatment. He will have to go through the process like anybody else.
Do you think the royal family can recover from a scandal of this size?
They've coped with beheadings, they've coped with abdications, they've coped with the split of leaving the Catholic Church. So I would hope that this is not the end, but it's certainly quite a large bump in the road.
The monarchy will always move forward. It has survived a very long time.
But some anti-monarchy groups are saying this is just the beginning of the end, that there's been a growing decline of faith in the monarchy, and this latest scandal could be the final blow. Maggie Bruley, ABC News, London.
The RCMP Heritage Centre is not shying away from the historical and present-day difficulties regarding RCMP and Indigenous relations. McFavel with more.
Over 100 red dresses in a formation similar to the Canadian flag now on display at the RCMP Heritage Centre. Each red dress includes a face representing a missing or murdered Indigenous woman or girl. For the two artists who led the project, they hope those that view the piece walk away feeling more aware of a major issue impacting Indigenous peoples across the country.
When we bring awareness, we have to also bring action. And when we bring action, we can bring protection. And I feel like the more people are aware of this issue in Canada, the more that people can help.
Tracy George Hayes and Justine Stillborn led the Togetherness project. They received help from a number of Regina students to complete the art piece. The title of Togetherness means a lot of things, particularly among Canadians who share the same history.
Whether it's, positive or negative, whether or not we are honest and truthful about that history, we still share it. And so whatever you call yourself, it doesn't have to be Canadian, but you have to recognize that we still share a history.
The RCMP Heritage Centre is a place focused on discovery, exploration, reflection, and reconciliation. These types of projects are a part of a strategic plan the centre has in place as they continue their journey of reconciliation.
It's really an honor for us to be able to facilitate and to create these programs to ensure that students are learning. Really at the core of these programs, we are hoping that we can help students see the ways in which we can all create a better future together.
The creators of the exhibit hope those that view the piece see it as a memorial and as a way to move forward.
I feel like the work that we've done with the RCMP is not just educating the public, but it's also educating the RCMP. It's educating the different systems from the inside.
Creating relationships and conversations in a new, meaningful way. Mick Favel, CTV News, Regina.
The U Sports National Curling Championships are happening in Regina and dominating conversation, the double touch rule. Donovan Mace reports.
Thousands of rocks are making their way down the ice at the Cali Curling Club for this year's National University and Collegiate Championships. But how many have been double touched? Have you ever double touched a rock?
Can't say that I have.
I don't want to say yes, but you get a few where the finger drags.
If I did it, it's probably not helping at all. I'd probably make it drastically worse.
A lesser known rule pushing curling into the headlines earlier this week. It states any touching of the stone after delivery between the tee line and opposite hog line results in the removal of the rock from play. At the Olympics in Italy, Canadian third Mark Kennedy accused by Team Sweden of poking a stone after it was delivered. The controversy continuing after Canada's Rachel Homan and Britain's Bobby Lammy each had stones removed from play for violations.
I'm sure when you're in the zone and you're throwing like that, you don't. I mean, if I think I throw something well, I don't pay any attention to what my hand's doing. I'm sure I've grazed granite before.
Your hand comes off really gently, sometimes aggressively, so it's always possible.
2012 Scotties champion and current University of Alberta coach Jessica Admonson says most curlers aren't focused on grazing rocks after delivery.
It's not even a discussion for us. I think it could have been an accident, it could have been, I don't know, but it's not something we even think about.
Curlers agree, however. The story has been good for the sport.
Maybe it doesn't look the best for Canada, but it's bringing a ton of attention to the sport, and I think it's making people excited and interested.
That's certainly given curling a center stage position, which is kind of fun to see.
It's nice. Everyone's talking about curling, so I love seeing the memes too. I think it's hilarious. So, no, we really enjoyed it.
Donovan May, CTV News, Regina.
Well, this one just coming into our newsroom, a major concert announcement for Saskatoon.
She loves when she hears you say it's so mature for your age, babe. She looks like she could be your daughter.
Hilary Duff is bringing her The Lucky Me Tour to SaskTel Centre with special guest Lauren Spencer-Smith on Friday, January 29th, 2027. So next January. Tickets go on sale, though, on Tuesday at 10 a.m. to the general public through Ticketmaster. I text Keelan Sawatsky. She's in the middle of Costco right now. Service is not great in that building, as you know. She's going to freak out if that finally gets through.
She absolutely is. I hope she gets tickets.
We're going to hear a scream coming from across.
We're going to hear it. Yeah.
Okay, what's going on with the weather?
From Costco. Well, the weather outside looks nice. That sun is starting to rise, but it is quite cold. Let's look at our morning view, which is brought to you by Affinity Wealth Management. We know investing. Minus 26 currently here in Regina. Seeing some sun here today as well. We'll see more of it as the day goes on. Over to Saskatoon, minus 29. Again, those temperatures are cold. We'll expect to see that today and into the weekend as well. Next week, though, some relief, some warmer temperatures. Over for our futurecast, we aren't expecting any significant snowstorms, not even a little bit. We are seeing that cloud cover here in the province, but again, a very, very nice weekend ahead of us, minus those temperatures. So if you are heading out, make sure you're bundling up, grabbing that coat, a toque, and some mitts. For Buffalo Narrows, current temperature, minus 35. Stony Rapids is at minus 37. Nipawin, minus 25. Melfort and Hudson Bay, minus 26. Kindersley, minus 28. Wynyard, minus 26, along with Yorkton. Estevan, minus 25. And East End, minus 23. For our highs today throughout the province, quite a bit of sunshine. Again, some cloud cover. The Battleford seeing minus 20. Prince Albert, minus 18. Yorkton, minus 19. Weyburn sitting at minus 17. Moose Jaw, minus 16. Swift Current sitting at minus 13. Here's a look at our 5-day forecast for Regina today, reaching that high of about minus 18. Again, it's going to get even colder tonight. Minus 29 will be our low for today, and that'll continue into tomorrow as well. Minus 19 for Saturday's high. Sunday, minus 17. Monday, the day that everyone is looking forward to, with minus 6 and some sunshine. Tuesday, minus 9. Over for Saskatoon, minus 21 today, minus 28 tonight as that low. Seeing that sunshine continuing into Saturday as well, minus 19, but minus 30 for the low. So if you've got any weekend plans happening before that sun sets and into the night, make sure you're dressing warm. Now Monday for Saskatoon, some scattered flurries are on the way, but that temperature is much nicer with minus 12 as the high, and Tuesday seeing some more sunshine coming out with minus 11.
It is time to slide back over to Janelle Lippi once more out at Regina's Frost Festival.
Good morning. Before we finish things up here at the Real District, of course, I had to bring Kyle over to the curling rink because we're going to have a little bit of fun here. So again, this is in the Sports Cage Lounge. Tell me a little bit about how people have been loving this so far.
Oh, this has been one of our most popular activities. It is like we've got plenty of stuff to do inside, so this is a great way to come inside from the outside and enjoy winter from the inside, which will be really great this weekend as the temperatures plunge a little. We know people are still going to have a lot of fun out on the Blizzard Bounce and be warm from all the activity going on down there. But this provides a great opportunity to come in and just have some fun inside with your family.
Absolutely it is. If you need a little spot to warm up, but you still want to get active, this is a great spot to do that. Should we take it for a spin?
Let's try, yeah.
Okay, you go first and I'll follow your lead.
All right.
Okay.
And it's okay to use your fingers here. We really don't care. And maybe I should use my fingers because that is a really poor sign.
That was good. Okay. Does it matter where I start?
Oh, no.
Okay.
Just let your mind go.
All right. Okay, that's okay. We'll redeem ourselves.
Perfect.
This is the one.
Should we try one more?
I think we should.
All right. Put some muscle into it this time.
Yes, yes, Kyle. Okay, that was great. I don't know if I'm gonna beat that.
Very
okay,
valiant
so
effort,
close.
Yes.
It really is all in the arm. Kyle, thank you so much for being here with us this morning. And absolutely, make sure you're coming down here. This is the third and last weekend of Frost. You can come here and try some curling yourself. Maybe show me how it's done.
The Flin Flon Bombers and Battleford North Stars, first two teams to clinch a playoff spot as we go down the stretch drive in the Saskatchewan Hockey League, Saskatchewan Junior Hockey League, I should say. The commissioner of that fine league establishment is Kyle McIntyre, who joins us down the line from Swift Current this morning. K-Mac, what's going on? How are you doing out there?
I'm doing great. How are you, Daryl? It's a little bit cooler than I'd like it to be, but we're right in the middle of a playoff battle here. We got 10 games left in the regular season, and the title is still anyone's to grab.
It's hockey weather, and we like that. Last year, we saw Melfort to do what they did. They were fabulous. They look like they're very much in the mix. How do you sort out how this thing's shaping up in terms of a playoff run here?
Well, it's going to be difficult to sort out. I would say that Flin Flon is probably likely, in all likelihood, going to finish in first place, Daryl. They've been a strong team throughout the year. Jockeying for second and third. Yorkton's got a real good club. Nipawin's got a good club. Battleford has a real good club. So those 3 or 4 teams, the Terriers are right in the mix. So you got 4 teams that are kind of at the top. And then you got probably another 6 or 7 teams battling for the last 4 playoff spots. And so really there's about 1 point that separates 6 from 10, and that's really where the battle is. And it just seems like every night you have a game, position in the league standings can change. And so right now, we're looking at, if the standings stayed exactly as they are today, we would see a couple of geographical battles. We'd probably see Estevan and Weyburn face off in the first round. We'd probably see Melville and Yorkton face off in the first round. Probably Flin Flon either gets Kindersley or Melfort. Flin Flon probably doesn't want to play Melfort. Melfort has got a lot of guys coming back from their Centennial Cup team last year. Of course, they've had some trouble scoring, but parity is alive and well in the SJHL.
Just about to say, aside from 2 teams, Laurent has struggled this year. Warman's still an upstart after moving from Notre Dame, but everybody else is right in the pack. You've established parity. How did you get to where you are here? Because a lot of leagues don't have that.
Well, it has nothing to do with the commissioner, unfortunately. I think what it has to do is, we have a real good figure program in the 18U AAA League, got a lot of players from Saskatchewan. This year, 92.5% of our kids are from Western Canada. And so we know in Western Canada, the players play a different brand of hockey. It's physical, it's fast, it's competitive. It's a 200-foot game. This year, we're happy, Daryl, with WCDM. We have about 50% of our kids are from the province of Saskatchewan, which is always great as well. And a lot of kids grow up in these small towns in the SJHL, idolizing the players that they watch as they grow up, and they become those kids and become a role model for the next generation. And so it's really fortuitous for us that we have a lot of good competitive balance, a lot of community support, and some wonderful hockey.
How is that support? Money matters, of course, and some teams over the last few years have had a couple of financial pressures and struggles. Where do we stand right now?
I think it's pretty good. The thing about junior hockey is it is cyclical, and so you're always going to go through a downturn. And unfortunately, if you're not winning, you're not bringing in a lot of fans to your building. Warman has actually done pretty well, Daryl, this year. They have a better record than what Notre Dame has, and they still have 10 games left. And they're probably averaging about 750 to 800 fans a game, which is a lot more than what we had in Wilcox. Laurent, they're probably averaging about 500 a game. They switched arenas, which is really help their attendance, and they're growing that fan base and really in effect in that new community. And so our attendance has been pretty good. Usually when it's super cold or it's harvest, we don't see really good numbers, but come the last couple weeks of the season and playoff time, it really makes up a gap that maybe some of the teams might have from earlier in the year.
I chuckle because Warman, great support in Notre Dame, not to slag on Wilcox because I love the town, but you can announce the attendance as Bill, Sally, Sue, and Joe. Thank you so much for doing this. We look forward to the playoff, an exciting playoff run, and we'll have you back on when playoffs get set, okay?
All right. Thank you, Daryl, for your interest.
U2 has some new music. The band is out with Days of Ash, a new 6-track EP that includes 5 new songs and a poem. U2 says it comes ahead of a new album they plan to release later this year that's, quote, inspired by the many extraordinary and courageous people fighting on the front lines of freedom.
You want me? Dead or alive?
Tom Noonan has died. The character actor's breakout role was in 1986's Manhunter, after which he starred in crime and action thrillers like RoboCop 2, Last Action Hero, and Heat. Noonan was 74. Free me. Those were the words posted to Shia LaBeouf's X account after the Transformer star was arrested in New Orleans earlier this week. Police reports indicate the 39-year-old actor got into an altercation with 2 other men during Mardi Gras celebrations. And 11 turns 22. Stranger Things star Millie Bobby Brown is celebrating a birthday today. And that's what's happening in Hollywood. Melissa Adon, ABC News.
The youngster you are about to meet is racking up likes by the millions on social media.
Her positive energy downright is infectious, and ABC's Will Gans got a chance to speak with her.
Are you ready, Freddy? Let's go, Ginny Joe!
This Irish 9-year-old is on a mission to make the world a little bit kinder.
Tall brown arm, keep shining, sadness won't last forever.
Sharing life advice.
Don't underestimate a woman!
And taste tests.
Taco Bell in Ireland will all be the judge of that.
And like her Pixar namesake.
When life gets you down, you know what you gotta do?
I don't want to know what you got to do.
Just keep swimming. Just keep swimming.
Dory is making waves online, racking up more than 17 million TikTok likes with comments pouring in like, God turned her charisma up to 100% when he made her. And you are raising a truly amazing human being.
Let those happy tears out.
Her mom, Jess, began sharing Dory stories with one simple goal.
Just knowing that it can make someone's day go from a bad day to a good day. It's just so precious.
Dory's got the gift of the gab.
I think that's me corn dog.
And she's not afraid to share it.
How is the weather over in your country? Because, well, us, it's actually not too bad now, but it was raining a few minutes ago.
We have had a very cold few weeks in New York. The Hudson River is frozen over.
Oh my goodness. You'll never guess what my surname is. Hudson. I'm actually screaming.
Dory and her mom reminding the rest of us that even in tumultuous times, it's the simple things that matter most.
Where does that joy come from? What is the key to staying so happy?
The key to staying so happy is laughing with me mom and having all the chaos with me mom, because when I'm in a good mood, she's in a good mood, and we're all just in a good mood and we'd be laughing our heads off. Are you ready, Freddy? Let's go, Ginny Joe!
I love how impressively positive that young lady is.
She's adorable.
Just joy all over the place.
She hasn't let the world beat her down just yet.
Yeah, there's time. There's time. Go see Uncle Jeremy.
Yeah.
He'll sort you all out. Let's get to our sidebar. Okay, so a town in eastern China has launched a series of spring festival celebrations, and these celebrations include traditional fish-shaped lantern garden parties and night tours. The fish lanterns are handcrafted and considered a provincial cultural heritage. There they are. Look at them. Plenty of fish in the sea and summer in the sky. There could be as many as 3,000 lanterns brought out during the festival. Oh boy. Catch and release program.
It's catch and release.
Yep.
It actually makes me teary-eyed.
Why?
It's so
We don't
beautiful.
have
They're real fish.
enough light festivals in our part of the
Need more
world.
lanterns?
You are absolutely
Yeah.
right, Jeremy. Bring out the lantern.
Light up the night, baby.
Light up the night, indeed.
Gorgeous.
You should start it. You should start it.
Sure.
I like that. Okay, we're getting cozy under a mountain of blankets from the 90s, which Janelle remembers vividly.
It's over now. The pain is gone.
It's because when we went to sleepovers in the 90s, Janelle, those sleepovers where you go to somebody else's house.
And early 2000s also.
You try to stay up late, and then a sleepy will hit you. The children's book I read my son
Crash on
last
the
night.
floor.
Sleepy's about to hit
Man.
me. We'll see you next week.
My back hurts.
Yeah, your back would hurt. Look at this, snow angels.